hot mic. I'm trying a new experiment here with this space. I'm going to try to open it on my smartphone, which I've just done. And I'm also going to open it up on my laptop. That doesn't seem to be doing very well. I understand that the control panel on the laptop is a little bit better than on the smartphone. Maybe I need to experiment with doing it like that. I was trying to open it up both on laptop and smartphone. That doesn't seem to be working very well, so anyway, we're still broadcasting. Anyway, this is Ralph with a new, actually not that new, we've been doing this now for about a week, but I was calling this space Morning Tarot with Ralph, and I got to thinking about that this morning. And I thought, that's not the best title for it, because generally when people hear the word tarot reading, they automatically tend to think about fortune telling, and gypsy tarot readers and getting their future predicted. I don't do that. That's not why I do tarot. My reason for doing tarot is to get motivated, to get inspired, to connect with the God of my understanding, to connect with the world of spirit of my understanding. And so I want a title for this space that reflects that. And this morning I got up a couple of hours early and I hit upon an idea that I love. It's got the right keywords in it for keyword optimization and search engine optimization, and it accurately describes what this space has been all about for the last few episodes and will continue to be about into the foreseeable future. But the new title that I'm working with, and how I'll be posting it here on X from now on, is Daily Motivation from the Tarot. And that will be the main part of the title for this space. And then after that, I'll mention the tarot card of the day that we will be talking about. So, with all that being said, this is, even though the title says one thing in X, this is our first episode of Daily Motivation from the Tarot. And today we are going to be talking about the Magician card. Now, the Magician card is an interesting little card. It is card number 1 in the major arcana, or the major mysteries of the tarot. And to me, I look at this and I think creativity. I think mastery, mastership. I think, of a person that has achieved balance in their lives. Because if you look at the Rider-Waite version of the Magician Tarot card, you see the 4 suits of the tarot laid out on a table in front of the magician. And those 4 suits are the wands, the swords, the cups, and the pentacles. And there is another symbol of the tarot above the head of the magician. The infinity symbol, the sideways number 8. And what do these symbols mean? Well, wands refers to passion, creativity, life force, life energy. Swords represents thought, the life of the mind, intelligence. The cups represents love and emotion, compassion. And the pentacles represents money, wealth, material possessions. And the figure 8 figure above the magician's head, that represents the world of spirit. So you got the 5 suits of the tarot right there. The major arcana by many is seen as being a reflection of the world of spirit, the suit of tarot that deals with the spiritual world. And then, of course, cups, love and relationships, pentacles, money, power, things like that. swords, thought, and wands, creativity, art, passion, things like that. And the magician can be seen not as a person that has just mastered one of these 5 disciplines. We can see them as disciplines. The magician, well-rounded, well-educated, well-initiated into the craft of life, is a person that has achieved balance within all of these 5 fields of expertise. And when I see the magician card, I see this as a reminder that you need to avoid 2 things. One thing that will get people into trouble is that we tend to specialize too much. It's good to be a specialist in one field. I had a philosophy teacher back in college that told me the definition of a specialist. A specialist is a person who knows more and more about less and less. It's the art of restricting your point of view to a very narrow focus. And when people will specialize in just one thing, they will tend to get themselves into trouble, because a lot of times a specialist is seen by other people as being an expert in their field. And that is true, but they are an expert in that one field doesn't make them an expert in everything. And I know I have known people, you have probably known people who were very good when it came to money, when it came to managing wealth, when it came to creating wealth. They were geniuses when it came to collecting money and making money and managing money. And some of these people became very, very wealthy. But when it came to their personal relationships, they sucked. I have known a few people in my life, masters of the material realm, masters of money. But when it came to their personal relationships, their family relationships, they were absolute beginners, maybe even not even beginners. They sucked when it came to a lot of their personal relationships. Why? Because they focused on the money. That's where they chose to specialize, but they didn't think it important to focus on the other area of life, namely love and relationships, or art and creativity, or thought, philosophy, life of the mind, things like that. They specialized just in one area, became powerful people in that one area. But when it came to love, I've known people that have been married and divorced several times. Success in the business world, big success in the financial world. But when it came to being able to keep a marriage and having a stable relationship with a wife, with their family, they sucked. And I've heard some executives say, look, the most important thing is doing well in business. If your family distracts you from your business, get a new family. That's what I did. I've actually heard some guys say that in their motivational speeches. And that is the point of view of a person who specializes in just one general area, and they forget about the rest of life. And they have lives that make them look like they're winners, like they're high achievers. And in that one realm they are. They're experts, they're high achievers, and you think they've got it all, they should be happy. And sometimes these people can be the most miserable people, the most unhappy people you've ever run across. So the magician, one life lesson we can learn from the magician card is be an expert in your chosen field, yes, but don't let that distract you from the other areas of life. Be a well-rounded individual. Strive to have the complete package, not just money, not just love. There are other people that focus solely on love. They're experts in relationships. They're great lovers, they view themselves as the world's greatest lover and things like that. But when it comes to managing money, they suck. They're always broke. So yeah, on the one extreme, you got the materialist who is focused on money, who is a loser when it comes to love. And then you got the other person, a winner in love, but a loser when it comes to money and the material realm. And the magician card says, why not have both? Why not have all three? Why not four? Why not all five? Why not be a spiritual person, a material person, a loving person, a creative person, and a person who loves thought, clear thought, education, things of that nature? The Magician card is a reminder that you can have it all. But it can also serve as a reminder. This is another area, another trend that people will tend to fall into, another rut folks will fall into. And that is the trend of trying to be a master of all trades, and yet in actual practice they are a jack of all. You know, jack of all trades, master of none is the old saying I was raised with. And yeah, there are a lot of people out there that will try to be like real Renaissance people, and they'll just be distracted by one thing or another. You know, they'll want to be a great poet, a great writer, a great thinker, a great lover, a great financier, a great artist when it comes to painting, sculpting, things like that. And there were some great Renaissance people back in the day that could manage to do all that and more. And we see a resurgence of that way of thinking too in our day and age, where people are saying, you know, you need to keep up with so many changing things, that this is an era that we're living in now, this part of the information age, where we are encouraged to be, you know, masters, Renaissance people, Renaissance men, Renaissance women. But don't bite off more than you can handle, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, it might serve you well to specialize in just one area that you want to specialize in, and then become good at that. And then after you've become good at that, decide you're going to specialize in another area and get good at that. And then just carry that practice on, you know, just start with one thing at a time and let that be your growth journey. But don't let it end once you've mastered that one thing. Keep going. There are 5 different aspects of life that the tarot suits speak of. The spiritual side, the intellectual side, the creative side, the passionate side, and the material side. And why not have the complete package? And so when I look at the Magician card, I see a person that has done well in balancing the different forces of life. And by that I mean the financial forces, the love and relationship forces, creativity, spirituality, all that stuff, the complete package. And when we look at the Magician card in a negative way, because all of the cards in tarot, they have a positive side, they have a negative side. One negative view that we can see from the Magician card is a tendency to try to be a master of all trades, and yet, you know, mastering nothing, just being a jack of all trades and a master of none. Or a person who is way out of balance. Maybe they see themselves as being the magician by way of being like the Wizard of Wall Street. And, you know, they have such a good financial grasp of the world, of Wall Street and money, that they think, I am the world's greatest magician when it comes to money. But yeah, they can go through marriage after marriage after marriage. They can become the worst enemy of their families. They can be very, very lonely people. And a lot of people that tend to fall into that category, they will say, well, as long as I got money, I can buy everything else. May not be able to buy love, but I can rent it. And there are people out there that think that way. And yeah, some of these people that regard themselves as being the magician or the wizard in one aspect of life or another, they're actually not. You know, they're a master of one aspect of life, but they don't have the complete balanced force, like Yoda Yoda would tell Luke, we must bring balance to the Force. And yeah, got to balance all those aspects of human life, of your individual and common humanity, and keep those forces in balance. So, yeah, the Greeks had a word for this. Not too sure I can pronounce it anymore, but we learned about this in college about 50 years ago. Holy cow. But yeah, arate, I think it what erate, something like that. But it means basically being a well-rounded person, being an expert in not just one field, but many different fields, having your spiritual life developed, your body, your physical life developed, your intellectual side developed, having all that developed. So anyway, to me, that's what the Magician card speaks on, and some daily lessons that we can learn from the tarot. So now, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up the cards. We're going to end this space with a 3-card reading. One of the cards is going to be the Magician card, and the other 2 I'm just going to draw at random. Then I'm going to mix them up a little bit, and we'll see what kind of a reading we can get. So here we go. I've got card number 1, 2, and there's 3. Now let's mix them up. Mix them up to where I can't tell where the Magician card is anymore. There we go. And now let's lay them out. 3-card spread. Okay, the first card is the Magician. Okay, this is shows an energy of having either the need for keeping a balance in life in the past, or maybe having achieved mastery of many different aspects of life in the past. So yeah, the Magician card is in the past position. Let's take a look at card number 2 in the present position. This is the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands represent change, speed. Not just any kind of change, but speed. Speedy change. Things progressing in life very rapidly. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Sometimes you can be going somewhere fast. Other times you can be going nowhere fast. Now, what's the third card? In the future position, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, representing excellence. Excellence in the material world. Excellence in business. Excellence in finance. So, with these 3 cards, if I was doing this as a reading for a client, I would look at that and I would see, okay, in the past, have you become powerful in more than just one aspect of life? Did you have a tendency in the past to focus on your finances only? And maybe you left some love and relationships things slide. Things that maybe you regret letting slide now. Maybe there's some creative things that you would want to do in life, but you've been so focused on finances in the past that maybe that's all you got right now. So maybe we need to take a look at where you've been in the past and see what do you really want. If you've spent your life focusing only on money, then maybe it's time to focus on love too. Maybe it's time to focus on exercise. I know a lot of people that will be, again, masters of finance, be physically out of shape, maybe be 100, 150 pounds overweight, but they think, hey, I got my money, so I don't need to be physically fit. And yeah, you should try to strive to have a fuller, more complete package. So that's one thought that comes to my mind when I see this spread, is that the past can indicate either a lack of balance of these different forces, or maybe the achievement of balance. And that has empowered the person to move forward into a more prosperous business relationship with the world, with their life, and with other people. And now the second card, yeah, change and speed. tends to indicate that, yeah, now is the time to make any desired changes that you want to make. If you've been focused in the past on being the world's greatest lover, and you've just gotten your finances all out of whack, or if you've been focused on being the world's, the Wizard of Wall Street, and your love and relationships and family relationships, life in that area sucks, then it's time to make changes. Focus on what you have achieved and where you want to take it in the next phase of your life. And this is where I would have a little conversation with the client and find out, okay, what have you achieved in the past that you're proud of? And then ask, what do you want in addition to that? Where do you want to go? And then after that, we can start brainstorming and looking at ideas of how you can go from being an out of balance person to a better balanced person. Or maybe the person already has achieved a fairly good balance in 2 or 3 areas of life. Maybe they just need to work on their spiritual side or one other side, maybe their creative side. Maybe they've got love, they've got love and relationships pretty much done. They got their money done, but as creative people, they tend to suck. And again, I know people that have fallen into that trap. They're not very creative people when it comes to social media, but when it comes to money, when it comes to family relationships, they're pretty good. But when they're trying to post on social media, these successful people, they fall into the trap of stealing content from other people and then putting it up as their own, and maybe even rebranding it with their own logo and their own name and things like that. And when I see people doing that, I don't know. It's just pathetic, I think. But there are a lot of successful people that do that because they just tell themselves they don't have time to become more creative. Well, maybe you should make time. Again, balance is what we want to achieve. And the tarot speaks of 5 different aspects of life that we can bring into balance. Your spiritual side, your financial side, your intellectual side, your creative side, and your financial side. So all that stuff. If you can bring balance into your life in all 5 areas, I would say you are a Renaissance man or woman. But don't try to be a master, don't try to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Take things one step at a time. Focus on the first step, and then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth. So that's what I see in this reading. An indication that probably this person has achieved a pretty good balance in the world of finance, and more than a little success in the world of finance, but maybe lacking in other areas. So maybe with the Wands card being in the present position, maybe we need to focus on their creative side. Are you a creative individual? Do you create your own content on social media? Or are you harvesting memes and content from other people and sharing it out as your own? It's fun to share memes from other people. There's a lot of very creative people that have very funny and very good meme ideas, but you need to start coming up with your own ideas as well. And just try to be a little bit more creative in life. So that is what we've got for the reading for today and the card for the day. Now, tomorrow, going to be back again at 8 a.m. Central Time. And we're calling this Daily Motivation from the Tarot. And we'll be talking about the next card, which is the High Priestess. Until then, have a great day. We will catch you again later at 11 o'clock with my 11 o'clock space, talking about something that I've learned about how to take X spaces, download the audio, and then re-upload it to Canva, and then taking that audio and transforming it into a video. One thing that got me thinking about this is that the search engine here on X seems to be pretty flawed when it comes to finding, past spaces. Yesterday, somebody had a space that I was really interested in. I tried to save it. For some reason, I was not able to save it. And now I can't find it anywhere on the internet, anywhere on X, excuse me. And so I just got the idea that if I want people to be able to find my X Spaces presentations a lot more easily, I can go ahead and turn it into a video and then upload it to YouTube, which has a superior search engine in regards to that sort of thing. And I can also now share them on Rumble and Facebook and Truth Social and everywhere else where I happen to be on social media. And so at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be sharing what I've learned and how I do that. So if you're interested in learning how to take an X space and turn it into a video that you can share out across all your video platforms and all your social media platforms, tune in at 11 a.m. Central today, and I'll be talking about that. And I've got that pinned to my profile page. So, yeah, if you want to tune in, feel free to. And if not, look for it on YouTube. It'll be up on YouTube by tonight. So anyway, this is Ralph signing off. Thank you for dropping by, those who have listened to the recording. Do we have anybody listening incognito that would like to pop out and say something? Maybe ask a question? Okay, it looks like nobody listening incognito. So yeah, if you're popping by and listening to the recording, thanks a lot. And we'll see you again at 11 a.m. today. Ralph signing out. Have a great one, folks. Bye-bye.